With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well, but I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. Rivers to Allen on the hook up there. 49 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a gain of 5 on the play. Here's a carry for Oliver. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On the run, it's Oliver. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Oh, Brandon, that was a big play by the defense to keep him at the end zone on 3rd down. So there's an early decision to be made here, isn't there? I know that 3 is awfully tempting, but I'd pull on my big boy pants right now, and I'd go for it.
So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. taken down deep into Charger territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
They try again with Lynch. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run for it with Lynch. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Carr to throw on second down. Flushed out right. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Derek Carr, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Reminder that coming up later tonight in the national window, we'll see the Giants travel out to Denver to take on the Broncos. And then tomorrow night, it's the Colts and Titans, an AFC South battle from Nashville.
Both of them have designs on winning that division.
They run. It's Oliver. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Second down, Rivers got his man complete over the middle. It's Oliver, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge, getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Rivers now from the 50. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Yeah, That's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Lynch. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense. After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
And complete right side to Cook. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they needed to go a big way. And I'm still not even buying that one. I'm reaching on that.
You're searching.
Actually reaching. But I do know this. On the other side of the field, that coaching staff is screaming at their defense. If you don't handle this one right here, this is a great opportunity for us. Take it away, guys. And they did.
And now excellent field position. A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. To throw is Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. Room here to run. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now, whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take possession. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
A good pickup there at 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Cooper was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in Week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd down, Lynch. And he's got room. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white. They'll run it now out of the gun. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And some room to maneuver. There he goes left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over it. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Well, he's in the MVP race, no doubt. Last year, Zeke finishing 3rd, Fournette trying to better that.
Love his body control. Love how he's physical yet fluid when he runs his routes. And that's why he finds himself open so often.
Picking up where he left off in that great performance a week ago. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 52 yards. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. First and goal, defense with her. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Brandon Oliver, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. And that one cuts this to a 17-point spread. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Team for the Raiders able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
First down, the run with Lynch. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Not something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarter.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Able to shake him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Khalil Mack coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind.
Looking for his tight end Gates, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now Carr throwing on second down, escaping the pressure right. And some room to work. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On third down, they go Lynch. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Carr gives to Marshawn. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. That's happy, Charles. You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Caught left side, Williams. And now running right through him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. A first down throw here for Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One last shot now for Rivers. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive